Buddha traveled from village to village, spreading wisdom to all who would listen. His presence alone was enough to bring peace, and his words stirred something deep within those who heard them. Many left behind their homes, wealth, and attachments to walk beside him, seeking a life of simplicity and truth. One day, in a prosperous town, a wealthy merchant sat among the gathered crowd, listening to Buddha's teachings. His words struck a chord in the merchant's heart. He had spent his life accumulating riches, but something about Buddha's way of life fascinated him: his peace, his contentment, his detachment from material things. A few days later, the merchant arrived at Buddha's dwelling, carrying a magnificent robe. It was woven from the finest silk, embroidered with golden patterns that shimmered in the sunlight. He bowed deeply and said, "Great teacher, your wisdom has opened my eyes. Please accept this robe as a token of my gratitude. It is the finest I own, worthy of your greatness." Buddha looked at the robe for a moment, then smiled gently. "I appreciate your kindness, but I prefer simple things. This robe is far too grand for me." The merchant hesitated, surprised. "Master, I only wish to show my respect. I cannot give you anything less than the very best." Buddha's eyes remained calm as he spoke. "If you truly wish to honor me, take this robe and give it to someone who truly needs it, someone who does not even have the most basic clothing." The merchant was silent. He had always believed that giving should be grand, that generosity was measured by the value of the gift. But now, Buddha's words made him question his understanding. With a respectful bow, he took the robe and left. As he walked through the busy streets, his eyes scanned the crowd. He passed by well-dressed men, traders, and travelers, but none of them seemed to be in need. Then, near the outskirts of the town, he saw an old man sitting by the roadside. His frail body was wrapped in tattered rags, his skin thin and weathered. His hands trembled as he tried to warm himself from the cold air. The merchant stopped. He had never truly noticed people like this before. He knelt down and, without a word, carefully wrapped the fine robe around the old man's shoulders. The man looked up, his eyes wide with disbelief. Tears welled up, not from sadness, but from the warmth he now felt, not just from the robe, but from the kindness of another human being. That night, for the first time in his life, the merchant felt something he had never known: peace. A deep, quiet peace that no amount of gold had ever given him. He had given before donations to temples, expensive gifts to noblemen, but none of those acts had filled him with this sense of fulfillment. The next morning, he returned to Buddha and bowed deeply. "Master, now I understand. Giving is not about offering the most expensive gift. It is about giving where it is truly needed." Buddha nodded. True generosity is not measured by wealth. It is measured by impact. When we give wisely, with a pure heart, we bring real change. The lesson: many of us give, but do we give where it truly matters? Do we offer luxuries to those who already have enough, while others struggle with nothing? Buddha's wisdom reminds us that generosity is not about the cost of what we give, but about the lives we touch. Sometimes, the simplest act of kindness, when done with sincerity, can change a person's world. If this story resonated with you, share it with others. And if you seek more life-changing wisdom, subscribe for more.